Coming up at 10, the latest after a massive power outage at Heathrow Airport. Plus, if you're in the market for a new house, we have what you need to know. But first, Governor Tim Walz making his way to the Med City today, drawing more than 1,000 people. We hear what he has to say on a large range of topics, including the current state of the Democratic Party. Your news starts now.
Live from your trusted news leader, this is KTTC Weekend News.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Zempel. First at 10, Governor Tim Walz making a stop in Rochester today. This on the heels of his tour of Iowa and Wisconsin, mostly in Republican-held districts, to talk about national affairs, the Trump administration, and the current state of the Democratic Party. We're told 1,500 people showed up for the event today, and they had to open up an overflow room for more people. I was actually there this morning as people lined up to get in. People started lining up before 8 this morning at John Marshall High School in Rochester. The line was going all around the building. Doors opened up around 9, people going through security first. One Rochester resident told me why she decided to come out today.
I'm coming out to listen to what Governor Walz has to say about our current kind of local situation and larger federal situation, and show my support for the good work that I see that he has been doing in the state and his leadership, and really trying to support policies that I really stand behind: climate change, school access, various, equity. I really see him as a strong leader for our state.
Walz called out the Trump administration on the dismantling of the Department of Education and says Minnesota, along with other states, will fight it in court. He also says he believes Elon Musk's days are numbered in the Trump administration because once President Trump uses someone, he throws them away. Walz also says the Democratic Party does need to refocus, but he doesn't have all the answers right now. He says he does have faith in Minnesota voters, though.
Look, I know it's still strained, but there was a time not that long ago in 2008, we won this congressional district by 33 points. 33 points. We won all 22 counties. God dang, 17 years ago. 17 years ago. And I make the case that we're a little different here, and there's a heritage that's a little different. We even call ourselves a little different.
And Republican Congressman Brad Finstad, who represents Minnesota's 1st Congressional District, says if done right, the governor's Rochester Town Hall had value.
My comment to him would be, well, I hope he comes to Rochester to tell us how we got our state in $6 billion deficit in the future. I would hope he would come to Rochester to tell us what his plan was to get us out of that budget mess that we are in. I would hope he would come and tell people of Rochester why he increased taxes by $10 billion and spent $18 billion of our surplus money.
And as for Finstad, he does tell KTTC he does not have an in-person town hall on the calendar, but he says he does plan to hold a telephone town hall event in the near future. Well, we're going to get a quick check on weather. Weather forecaster Derek Overland joins us now. Hi, Derek.
Hey, Megan. So we had a pretty sunny day today with a few clouds starting to move in towards the evening hours. Now we're starting to see a little bit of some more cloud cover, but eventually we're going to see the chance for a few showers later on tonight. So here's your first alert to impacts you may notice. You're looking ahead. We have wind speeds and rain at a minor inconvenience there, as we'll have some rain possible tonight into Sunday, looking very on and off and rather light rain for the majority of us. And then looking ahead, mild temperatures in the 40s and 50s throughout the rest of this weekend. So Sunday and even throughout the rest of the week, we'll have temperatures jumping up into the 50s with a quieter weather pattern. We may have a few very light rain chances, I think Tuesday, and then also Friday and Saturday are the couple of days that we're looking at for maybe a few more rain chances. But here's future track radar. Notice the band of some showers moving through, but a lot of this not making it to the ground. We're fighting some dry air towards the surface, so this rain is falling. It's just not making it to the ground. It's evaporating before it makes it to the ground. And we can look at surface observations. Albert Lee finally starting to break through some of that dry air. We saw Mankato break through that dry air just a little bit ago. Albert Lee following suit, but Mason City, Charles City, and Austin still with cloudy skies, but with Albert Lee starting to see some rain. We may start to see a few more showers in our area here around I-35 now that we're starting to break through that dry air. Now, zooming out and looking at surface map, we can see this low pressure system. So first, this frontal boundary will move through later on tonight, a warm front, and it'll give us some warmer temperatures tonight. We'll actually warm up in the early morning hours. Then we have this this cold front right behind the low. That will move through after the warm front towards the afternoon hours, and we'll actually have colder temperatures towards the afternoon for our Sunday, but we'll have another chance for some showers towards those afternoon times, and then we'll talk about that in a little bit here. Luciano live camera here in Rochester showing us some cloudy skies throughout the area. The rain in Mankato moving in towards the Austin and Mason City area with temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Southeast winds at about around 5 to 15 miles per hour here tonight, but tomorrow will continue to stay windy, cloudy, and the chance for some on and off showers, mainly in the morning and then again towards the afternoon, and will also again be windy. Notice those winds, southwest winds around 10 to even 20 miles per hour, around 30 mile per hour wind gusts possible towards the afternoon. I'll have more on that rain and the wind in my full forecast in just a little bit.
All right, well, stay tuned for that. Thank you, Derek.
Yep.
Well, delays linger after a power outage at London's Heathrow Airport. Heathrow is open and fully operational after a massive fire at a nearby electrical substation shut down the airport and triggered chaos across global air travel, leaving 250,000 passengers stranded. Raf Sanchez has the latest.
Tonight, even as London Heathrow says it's once again fully operational, travel pain from its closure still being felt worldwide, with thousands struggling to make it home.
It was a disaster.
Europe's busiest airport was completely shut for 18 hours yesterday after this massive fire tore through a nearby power station. More than 1,300 flights were disrupted, and today airlines rushing to clear the backlog.
So it's actually pretty normal in here. You're not seeing big lines anywhere, but when you look at the boards, you can see there's still lingering cancellations.
Passengers caught in a tangle of misconnections.
I'm very frustrated.
Laura Fritchie and her family trying to get back from London to Kansas City.
This was my first big vacation with my kids since my husband died, and it's and then now this. So it's just, I just want to go home.
Heathrow bringing in additional staff to help and had about the same number of flights scheduled today as last week, but cancellations 6 times higher than last Saturday's numbers. Heathrow's CEO facing questions about how a single fire could knock out his airport's power supply and why backup systems couldn't keep it online.
Contingencies of certain sizes, we cannot guard ourselves against 100%. And this is one of them. This has been a major incident.
A major incident with global impact.
Protesters across the nation are looking to take down Tesla in an effort to impact its owner, Elon Musk. Protesters gathered outside Tesla showrooms and dealerships today and to denounce Elon Musk and Doge. It comes as part of the Tesla takedown movement. Demonstrations have been organized by groups including Action Network, People Over Profits, and the Disruption Project. Many of the protesters said they are targeting the business that made Musk the richest man in the world. While there have been peaceful protests, there have also been at least 80 reported cases of vandalism or arson of Tesla vehicles. The FBI released a statement addressing the spike in crimes that have led to 3 people facing federal charges. And FBI Director Kash Patel is planning a major cutback of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. 3 people who have been briefed on the plan say Patel has outlined plans to move as many as 1,000 ATF agents to the FBI. Patel also serves as the acting director of the ATF. The move would cut ATF agents by more than 1/3. The agency has roughly 2,600 agents and more than 5,000 employees. One source says the move is expected to begin with the reassignment of a couple hundred ATF agents to border-related duty as FBI agents. Spokespeople for the FBI and the Justice Department have not responded to requests for comment. Well, it's a vital part of our mental health and physical health. Sleep is important for everyone, and especially children and teens, as it plays a role in growth and development. Many children experience problems, and if it left untreated, there can be lasting effects. In today's Health Minute, Manny Gaither talks to a pediatrician about when to worry about a child's sleep habits.
During sleep, the body is at work, supporting healthy brain function and keeping up physical health. But getting those Z's doesn't always come easy. Around 35% of parents reported to the CDC that their child sleeps less than what's recommended for their age.
Sleep disturbances are really common in kids.
Dr. Scott Hadlin with Mass General for Children says sleep sets the stage for the kind of day a child will have, affecting school performance and how they engage with others. Those who don't get enough sleep are at increased risk for injuries, obesity, type 2 diabetes, poor mental health, attention and behavior problems, and poor cognitive development.
The key here is to understand when there's an issue.
Hadlin says there are 3 reasons parents should seek care for a child's sleep habits. First, if sleep disturbances are persistent, happening multiple times a week for a long period of time. Second, if the sleep issues are leading to daytime problems. Finally, if you suspect a medical problem, for example, heavy snoring or gasping, could be a sign of obstructive sleep apnea.
I think the other thing I would say is that if a child does wake up in the middle of the night with some kind of sleep disturbance, it's really important for parents to respond calmly, because that will help their child fall back asleep more quickly.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
A popular maker of ready-to-eat beef sticks has issued a recall because some of the customers found pieces of metal in the product. Idaho Smokehouse Partners has recalled nearly 30,000 Chomps beef sticks. The company notified the Agriculture Department after receiving 2 complaints from customers. The beef sticks were shipped to stores in California and Illinois. The company also recalled its Chomps original turkey sticks to ensure none of its products are at risk. So far, no one has been sickened. Well, 15% of Americans plan to buy a home in 2025, according to a new NerdWallet study. In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer reporter Rachel DePompa talks to a real estate expert about the state of the housing market nationwide.
35% of people who don't own a home tell NerdWallet the cost of living is stopping them from buying a house. Holden Lewis, a real estate expert with the company, says this is the least affordable housing market for buyers he's seen in the last 20 years.
It's really bad. Home buyers complain about, first of all, prices, and also the lack of availability of homes for sale. And, those 2 things are related. And then also high mortgage rates.
The study found prospective buyers hope to spend about $259,000 on a home, but the actual median sales price right now is around $420,000. He says there are a few markets around the country, like in Texas and Florida, where prices have actually fallen in the last few months. But in most places, prices remain high and mortgage rates sit on average around 7%. Lewis says if you're looking to buy this spring, take your time.
One of the good pieces of luck is that because it's taking longer for people to buy homes because of the affordability issues, more and more homes are stacking up on the market. The inventory of for sale homes is rising, and that means as a buyer, you have more to choose from than you did, say, a year or 2 ago.
Lewis says the greater supply of houses is keeping prices from skyrocketing like they did 3 or 4 years ago. He says find a good local real estate agent, interview several, find the right one that aligns with your goals and really knows your local housing market. You're going to be working with that person for several months, if not a year. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Rachel DePompa.
Well, still ahead, remembering a larger-than-life personality on and off the ring. A look back at the life of George Foreman next.
You're smart. Your TV is smart. That's why you cut the cord.
Welcome back. Known as Big George Foreman, he was a world heavyweight boxing champion and Olympic gold medalist. He passed away at the age of 76 on Friday. Jesse Kirsch reports.
Hey, hear him. Down goes Frazier.
From his lights-out blows
down again
to a sizzling second act.
The great features of my grill will make meal times faster and easier in your home.
George Foreman was an American force. The Texas native won Olympic gold in 1968 before he shocked the boxing world 5 years later. He knocked out Joe Frazier in 2 rounds to become world heavyweight champion.
George Foreman is the heavyweight champion of the world.
But his reign didn't last long. In 1974, he battled Muhammad Ali in the famous Rumble in the Jungle. In 2016, talking about that fight with Jose Diaz-Balart here on Nightly News.
What was it like being around Ali back then and there?
Oh, yeah, I call it the mugging in the jungle. He took my title from me, and it was a strange thing to fight someone you've admired for so many years.
20 years later, Foreman reclaimed his crown at age 45. Making him the oldest boxer to win the heavyweight championship.
The little fame and fortune we get.
In retirement, Foreman turned to religion, becoming an ordained minister.
Yeah, I have the lean, mean, fat reduced.
And his fame skyrocketed as he hawked his lean, mean grilling machine, selling more than 100 million worldwide.
It's a real knockout package.
Foreman's family honoring his legacy on social media last night, writing he lived a life marked by unwavering faith, humility, and purpose. George Foreman was 76 years old. Jesse Kirsch, NBC News.
Here's your first alert weather with forecaster Derek Overland.
We had a really nice day today with some seasonal temperatures in the 40s. We were windy as we had some increasing cloud cover towards the evening. Now finally parting to some showers here. Now a lot of this not making it to the ground. Notice Charles City and Mason City still just some cloudy skies along with Austin. Albert Lee starting to see some rainfall along with Mankato. So some of this rain is starting to finally make it to the ground. I do think in some of these areas where we do have some darker green, maybe a few raindrops starting to fall, but we will be starting to break through that dry air throughout the area, and we'll have that chance for some on and off showers throughout the rest of the night and into tomorrow. Looking at surface map, we can see this entire system moving east here as we'll have a warm front. This will turn into a warm front and move through, give us that chance for showers later tonight and also increase our temperatures. But then a cold front right behind it will move through towards the afternoon on Sunday, and that will actually cool our temperatures while giving us another chance for a few on and off showers. Louis Not a live camera here in Rochester showing us some cloudy skies. Sensors still saying clear, but we do have cloud cover across the area. Rain falling in Mankato currently, temperatures in the upper 30s and low 40s with some windy conditions, southeast winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's what to expect here tonight. We'll have those showers coming in late here as we go into tomorrow, continuing with those on and off showers. And then for next week, we're looking warmer with some more showers possible late in the week for Friday and Saturday. Wind gusts will be windy throughout the next 24 hours as we go into late tonight, early tomorrow morning, back into the 30s for those wind gusts, possibly reaching around 35 miles per hour, die down a little bit in the late morning, but then that cold front moves through towards the afternoon. It's going to cool our temperatures and give us some windy conditions, gusts reaching close to 40 miles per hour on that 35 mile per hour mark. So let's track things out on Future Track as we go through later on tonight. Here's that line of showers is currently moving through. Notice the warm front will move through, giving us some higher wind gusts and also warming our temperatures. By Sunday morning, we're going to be back up into the upper 30s with the chance for some more on and off showers, but notice right behind it, a cold front will also be coming through. That's going to help cool our temperatures and give us another chance for a few showers. And then as we have another cold front moves through, that's going to really cool our temperatures down into the upper 20s and low 30s. The good news is these temperatures aren't going to last very long as we'll have some warming temperatures for our Monday afternoon and then throughout the entire week. Rainfall forecast here for the next 36 hours, we will see some light rain. We're looking at around equal to or less than a 1/10 of an inch pretty much for the majority of the area. Around the Mississippi River Valley, we may see a little bit more precipitation, but really not a washout by any means, but we'll see those on and off showers. Precipitation forecast in the next 7 days, straight chance for Sunday, Tuesday, another straight chance there, and then straight chances for our Friday and Saturday. Tomorrow, we'll have those on and off showers throughout the day. Temperatures, we will get into the 40s, but it'll be really quick in the morning hours. We'll cool down towards the evening hours real quickly. 10-day forecast in Mankato showing those warm temperatures with showers for our Sunday. Warm temperatures throughout the rest of the week with showers again for our Friday. And here's our 10-day forecast for Rochester area. We have stray showers again for our Sunday. Warm temperatures will be warming back up into the 50s by midweek this week with another chance for a few showers Friday and Saturday. We'll be right back.
KTTC weather brought to you by KTTC Sports from the Lucina Siding and Windows Sports Wall.
Welcome back, I'm Nathan August. Tonight from the Sports Wall, two Mankato area boys basketball teams were playing for a title today. You saw Mankato East effort at 6. Now we take a look at the Waseca Blue Jays, the 2 seed in Class 2A, taking on top-seeded Albany in the title game. A tight finish to this one. We go straight to the final 5 minutes. Waseca trailing by 4. Not anymore. Demarius Randall drains a triple to make it a 1-point game, 55-54. Next possession for Waseca. This time it's Darren Russell with the 3. The Blue Jays tie this game up at 57 with 3:43 to play. It feels like a 3-point shooting contest in the barn. Albany's Elliott Burnett drains one to put the Huskies back up by 3, 60-57. The Russell brothers doing what they can to win this game. Darren drives to the hoop with a huge bucket. It's now a 1-point contest with 1:09 to play. He's fired up, team's fired up, and the fans are fired up. Waseca putting the pressure on, using their speed to create havoc, but Albany breaks the press, streaking down court, and Braden Justin finishes the breakaway layup. Albany extends the lead to 3 with just seconds to play. Then the Huskies get it out in transition again with 10 seconds left. They take a 5-point lead, and that'll do it. Albany defeats Waseca 70-63, and the Huskies are the Class 2A state champions. We go to NA3HL playoff action with a win over the West Bend Power tonight. The Grizzlies could claim the Central Division. An early goal from each team were tied at 1 in the second. Mason Decker's shot is napped out of the air, but the Grizzlies keep trying. Isaac Flatley gets in the way of the pass and winds up with Decker again. One save, then another. The go-ahead goal would remain stubborn. Off the face-off, Gavin Black sends it from deep. A save, then a joust from the Grizzlies, but again, no damage done. This pattern continued for a while. Brody Olson from the right side tries it. Once again, it's saved. Scoring wouldn't open again until much later. This one went to overtime, and the Power win it 3-2. That means the decisive Game 3 will happen in West Bend tomorrow. More hockey. John Hines' Minnesota Wild look to make it 3 straight wins as they host the Buffalo Sabres. After a scoreless first period, the scoring picks up. Trenton centers to Marco Rossi. He eclipses the keeper, and a minute into the second, the Wild take the lead. 4 minutes later, Matt Boldy slides it to Brendan Gaunce. First shot is off, but on the rebound, Justin Brazeau powers in his first goal with the Wild. It's 2-0. A mighty second period continues 3 minutes later. Matt Boldy finessing close before he feeds Matt Zuccarello. He nets another one for the Wild, a 3-0 lead. They net another one late on an empty net. That's win number 40 on the year for the Wild, taking this contest 4-1. We check in on our area athletes who took the stage today in the madness of March. Rochester Lourdes grad Alyssa Usby helped the 3rd seed North Carolina Tar Heels advance with a 70-49 win over Oregon State. Usby had 10 points on 5 of 11 shooting and 4 assists, but most important, 9 rebounds. And with 9 rebounds, today she became North Carolina women's basketball's all-time leader in rebounds. Quite the accomplishment. The Tar Heels continue their tournament journey against West Virginia on Monday. In men's hoops, Stewartville's own Will Cheddar logged just 2 points in 14 minutes for the Michigan Wolverines tonight, but Cheddar will continue to dance. The Wolverines beat Texas A&M 91-79 to advance to the Sweet 16, and the Wolverines and Will Cheddar will play number 1 seed Auburn on Friday, March 28th. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
KTTC, your community, your...
Thanks for joining us tonight. We hope to see you back here tomorrow.